Let's slow down a minute before we jump into the Aries new moon energy, the spring equinox. Spring is here. Consciousness has birthed itself, and yet a new reality unfolds. How exciting! The narrative in a lot of ways intensifies right here, right now, and will definitely be the precursor to how it is your year unfolds. What are the prominent influences that you are aware of in your environment right here, right now, on the news, on the radio? What kind of catastrophes and crises are spreading its words and its news to you? Saturn is in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces still, completely, very much in full effect behind the scenes. So many restrictions and so many barriers, but the mind and the imagination and the love of life will set you free. Choosing to write your story as you burst forward through the gates, as you decide to take no prisoners at war. A lot of that being spoken about here and now, but the greatest war is fighting for the life that you deserve. Venus and Taurus, Uranus and Taurus. You're being called to basically grasp for unconventional forms of expression, values, and beauty. Huge emphasis on beauty during this Aries season. Spring forward. Life cannot be subdued, and it will find its way back again, over and over and over again. The distractions in your space, right? Because we have Mercury here, and Mercury can be very distracted. We have Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Chiron, and Mercury in Aries. And this is marked as a stellium. And a stellium is a hyper-concentration in what we are bringing forth around us. And in this case, it is the seeds that will begin to explode, the seeds that will begin to pop up. Where there is war, there is beauty. Where there is beauty, there is war. Okay? And this is the conflict between love and war. And I like to say that love always wins. Love wins, just like life decides to return again. It never left. The battle between love and war, the battle between this and that, and really the call to action that might bring a completely sobering clarity, a completely sobering reality. But yet the clash of the flora abundance that is available to us, meaning the further we go into it, the more beautiful the potentials will be, the more beautiful the potentials can be. It's a matter of sticking to the path of abundance. It's about sticking to the path of your clear sight. It's about sticking to the path of your righteousness, of your ability to conquer, of your ability to proceed, for your ability to see, move forward, and take action. So many distractions, so many cries of crisis, so many calls of your attention that will take you off your track. This is not the time to be distracted. This is not the time to lose your sense of self. This is not the time to listen to the cries and the mumbles and the ones who seek to take you away from your given goal. Your goal is in sight now. And what you're being asked to do is to take the steps forward and to never look back. This is not the time to look back. All the planets, all the personal planets are out of Pisces, and we're in Aries and Taurus here. Mars in Gemini, soon to go in Cancer, where literally like where emotions can get extremely volatile. But this is also the manifestation of what it is that we have set into movement and that we are trailblazing towards today. Okay? Emotionally spiraled, emotionally inspired, and definitely our senses are in tune with our primal desires. New moon in Aries. Our emotions are in tune with our primal desires. Our emotions are in tune with what we were destined to do. Our emotions are in tune with our primal consciousness, the birth of reality, what we came here to do. Our emotions are in tune with our action-oriented mindset. Mercury in Aries. This is a time to be selfish, really. This is a time to be thinking about yourself. This is a time literally where like there's rows and rows of fields, and in order for you to get to bed, in order for you to get to dinner or to lunch or to breakfast on the other side, you have to clear your path and field. And there's multiple people doing it on the left and on the right of you, and they are hungry. They're hungry. And they don't care if whether you clear your field or not, or if you get, they don't care, they're gonna get to there. So it's time to clear. It's time to clear the path. Okay? Let's pull some cards. It's so simple. Aries energy is simple. It's not complicated. It gets complicated when we involve other people. It gets complicated when we get into relationships. And yeah, that's a huge thing at this time. But who are you when you get to your relationship? Who are you when you get to your partnership? What is it that you bring to the table necessarily? Like, are you dependable? Are you strong? Are you worthy? Are you intelligent? You know, are you able to lead? You know, the blind can't lead the blind. It's simple energy. It's fast forward energy. That's all, you know, all the talk of war and violence and crisis and destruction and this whole thing with the, you know, with the banks going crazy, Venus, money, and Uranus, you know, shake up, and the North Node just being extremely like hungry and just devouring everything that's in its nature. You have to be like nature. You have to devour everything in its path. You have to be like spring. You have to spring forward into your destiny. You have to be like the wild flowers, like the wild vines that just traverse nature and take over and climb over rocks and buildings. And there's nothing that stands in nature's way. And this is exactly the energy that this new moon on Aries brings to you. There's nothing, absolutely nothing standing in your way. Move forward or move over, like the cow would say. So we have the Hermit energy and the Empress energy. I thought I had seen the Empress in the beginning, and I didn't. I was like, oh, that's weird. And like, it's weird that I didn't see the Empress, but I saw the star. And I was like, okay, but I see a star, and this Empress on this deck has, you know, stars all over her bonnet thing here. And so the Empress is representative of this Venus, Venusian. It's like, I'm getting like gold rush energy. The energy is so prime and lush for like, it's like I feel like there's a free-for-all of energy that we need in order to like fuel ourselves. This is a time to like engorge, almost like to eat, to fuel, to eat and to fuel, to restore your energy sources. Whatever it is that you need to do, it's like putting your oxygen mask on in a crisis before you put someone else's on. Feed yourself, nurture yourself, air yourself, clear your path first before anything. Again, straightforward, simple, go, fast, straight, okay? The Hermit. This is an energy. This is an energy that you've asked for. This is an energy that you've already concentrated on. This is an energy that you've already manifested. This is an energy that you've already set into motion. This is something that you've already contemplated. This is something that you've already mastered. This is something that you studied. This is something that you over and over mulled over. You did the work. You did the turning over. You did the shadow work. You did the studying. You did the research. You did the application. You crawled before you can walk. And there's a deep intelligence and understanding to Aries that is primal. It goes and follows. I mean, not to say that it doesn't make mistakes, because the Aries energy is definitely prone to making mistakes, especially if it doesn't look before it takes off. But you've looked and you've done the work and you've calculated. Hermit, Virgo, you've done the calculations extensively with Jupiter here, okay? And now it's time for you to take your extensive knowledge, populate it, allow it to grow, so that not only will you have crops and fruit and abundance for you to feed off of, but you will have enough to feed a town, to provide a farm. You will be so... You already are abundant. The abundance is here. Excuse me. At the time of the new moon, a lot of Cancer will be on the horizon. And this is why I say that the emotional self also ties in. The moon, Cancer is ruled by that moon. And that moon is in Aries, in cardinal square, which is making us feel, you know, like we're getting that emotional green light to take the physical action, to be able to discern the steps that one needs to take in order to get to their final destination. This is a very strong desire, and there's a magnetic pull that will not and cannot stop you. This is activation energy. Through conflict for some, and for others, a stubborn energy may ensue, but you will be pushed. I mean, you can be the car that doesn't start. You can have that engine that doesn't start. Maybe you need your battery jumped. Maybe you should have a little battery car jumper in the back seat, so that you can get yourself up and going when you need to. And this is the time. There's no excuses. The tools are there. Mercury is all about the tools that allow you to problem solve. Intellectual, physical, like dexterity wise, there's no reason why the problem should not be solved. Jupiter and conjunct Chiron and Aries. The problem has been magnified. It's blown over. It's surfaced. It's bubbled. We know what the issues are, and we have the intellectual capacity and understanding with Mercury there, but not only that, we have a 0-degree Aries sun, which is the willpower and the energy and the vitality and full exaltation, along with the moon. So we are in tandem, mind, body, and spirit, essentially. We are in tuned mind, body, and spirit. Eight of Cups. Letting old, rotten, emotional situations go. It's time to walk away from what hasn't been serving you emotionally for a long time. I mean, there's a shipwreck. you could have potentially gotten in a shipwreck. It's, you know, like things have been completely a mess, or that final issue, or that final destination, or that final problem, or that final relationship is a shipwreck. You're realizing that you have to emotionally walk away from what hasn't been working for you. But this is also about not giving up hope of the final desire and the final outcome. Just because we have to take a new direction doesn't mean that we are moving in the opposite direction of what our desired goal is. Sometimes we have to be smart enough in order to understand that a new sense of direction, A new detour is being presented to you. A new path is being awakened to you. But it's up to you to work through the wreckage in order to get to where it is that you're going. This is not about feeling sorry for yourself. This is not about thinking about your emotional losses and your emotional wounds. So it's not a time for self-pity. It really isn't. This is a time of expansion and growth, right? Because we have the Empress, we have we have abundance, we have fertility, we have sex, we have sexuality, we have sensuality, we have all of the senses: sight, smell, taste, hearing. And then we have the deep introspection of the Virgo, of the guru, of the teacher. This is the healer. We've done the inner work, we've healed, we've grown, we're ready to shine, we're ready to, our glow up is here, our glow up is present. But it requires action, it requires movement forward. And then we have the Eight of Cups, as if it's like, but I don't feel worthy, or I'm still sad, or I want to still think about this emotional situation, or I'm still not over this relationship, or I'm sad about the past, and I'm sad about how things turned out. Like, this is stubborn, sad, poor me energy that really needs to be let go of as we push through our expansion. We allow ourselves to thrive and unfold like a flower, to really thrive at this time while the sun is in exaltation. Yeah, it's interesting. She has the sun symbol right on her forehead too. And then we have the lotuses unfolding as she awakens into her new sensual nature, into her new fire desire. This is about being led with passion and drive and fervor and love, being driven by love. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is the following card for the three. So we have the Three of Wands, where she is just beginning to allow herself to stretch to receive. And then here she reaches perfection and she prepares for flight. You are preparing for flight through poise and action. So this is what I have for you. Happy Aries new moon. I'll be back soon. Later.